Welcome and good evening to Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms. This is Raph streaming to you live high above the keep in the hot air balloon. Tonight, as always, I have Neindorf with me. Neindorf, how you doing?
I'm excited for a refresh. I'm ready to see how people do on this updated challenge.
Yeah, we are ready to go with the refresh. We have Forest Dungeon 2 open up, and tonight we have a very special set of guests. We have Sergeant Filthy McNasty, and we got the entire Mythic Squad crew coming on at various points of the evening. So, gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
Today you will learn what not to do through me.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right, so
I don't want to brag, but I'm kind of number 2 on the leaderboards right now. Kind of. Shout out to Ben Force holding down the number 1 spot.
Shout out Mythic Squad.
Keeping it warm for you.
Oh yeah.
Keep in mind, that's last week's leaderboard. We got a new leaderboard today.
yes,
right.
we'll have a new leaderboard today. I have up on screen our Adventures Arcade leaderboard. Last time we did this, we did a 2-hour challenge, just like we're going to do tonight. And we're planning on giving away a greater stone at tonight, and we're hoping we can get that number up to 2 greater stones. So the last time we did the leaderboard challenge, we had 126 games played, and so if we can get that number up for every 75 games played, we are going to give away a greater stone. And I can't remember which ones we're going to get, and those are courtesy of the DeFi Kingdoms team proper. They hooked us up as third-party developers with some sweet giveaway prizes. So we're hoping that strings us through the next few months of dungeons that we're working on. And then, as you can see on the screen, we're going to give away a greater crystal for every 25 games, a regular stone for every 50 games, a regular crystal for every 15 games. We'll have some Gen 1 summons, monthly site time. We're going to have game credits. And this is a new challenge. So I think Neindorf, you and Skillet took it a little personally. That Ben Force and now Starbuck are just rocking dungeon number 1. And you guys went back into the lab, and you can't spoil too much. Skillet already got mad at me for spoiling a little bit. But tell us, why did you guys want to make this harder? Is it the boar hunts?
Yes. Honestly, it's kind of a matter of we want par to be somewhat accurate, and that was really our first go at it and our first attempt at how difficult it was going to be. So it's basically a formula that we have in the code base. It's like how many rooms is the dungeon, how many monsters are there, how many are they mini bosses. All these things are taken into account to calculate par. And so we did a few things. Another one I hope you guys appreciate who played last week is the dungeons load a lot faster now. And so we've got some really cool code where we're making that work a lot faster. And some of the outcomes or consequences because of that are we also have enemies that are a little bit more HP now, and they kind of level up better with you as your heroes.
All right. Now, go ahead. Yeah. Okay.
I gotta know, can I share my screen? I mean, if people haven't jumped in here,
yeah, absolutely.
Beeve.
Share your screen and let's jump in.
I jumped in.
Beeve, you're here, but you're even more here than you think.
How's that?
Look on my screen.
Right. This is one of the secret alphas that we have for tonight.
Oh yes.
Oh, I'm so happy right now. You guys,
Are we gonna hear his name in here?
yeah.
Vale.
So this is Ranger Beeve. He's a special NPC character that we've been working on in the background, and he will appear in story mode throughout some future games. But I was telling Skillet and Neindorf we got to get him at the start of the Forest Dungeon, kind of warning our viewers or warning our game players that it's going to be a little more challenging this time around. So he's there to welcome people and get them into the game for sure.
Ranger Beef needs some sort of catchphrase, and it's gotta be mushrooms in there somewhere. If I know Beef, there's mushrooms in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Beef's got a catchphrase. I don't give a damn. Beef don't give a damn.
Beef don't give a damn. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the other one I just sent to you today, Beav?
It's all
Oh,
about the
son of a
mustard,
beaver.
too.
Son of a beaver.
Son of a beaver. I like that one. I like
Oh
that
my
one.
gosh.
That one's hot off the press.
Yeah.
Coming to a shirt near you.
I love that.
Oh yeah.
All right, so Starbuck, you're playing here. We're watching you, and I don't know if you adopted this strategy the first couple times you've played. And some of our viewers on the first time we went through, I know Ben Force did this. I know Delay did this. Our recommendation for newcomers out there who are getting into the game, first off, you have to play through the tutorial, learn the rock paper scissors system. But the most important thing that I think people can learn is like drawing a map on the side to actually be able to learn the dungeon path is a very helpful tool to work towards getting that high leaderboard score. And so like if you really want to get on top of the leaderboard and be a leaderboard winner, which we are going to give extra our own raffle tickets away for earning the prizes tonight towards our top 3 finishes on the leaderboard. Draw your own map at home. I mean, that's a nice way to make sure you don't get lost. There are a few more rift traps in this dungeon than there were before, so it could be tough.
Yeah, no, I really want to spoil some of the other things that we have, but I'm going to try my hardest to avoid it on tonight's stream. But we've got kind of a roadmap that Raph, Skillet, and I have laid out for the next, basically until the new year on features we want to add with each subsequent dungeon release to make it, more complicated, you have a little bit more depth of play. So yeah, I can't give away anything yet, but it's early in the stream.
Yeah, early in the stream. Well, I mean, the right hand side of the screen here definitely is kind of showing some of what's coming in the future. I'm looking at Starbucks screen right now. There's an inventory panel and a quest items panel. So I don't know. Maybe you'll pull it out of us later in the stream. But
that's right.
We got some ideas here for sure. So Starbuck, take us through the team that you have assembled. Who are you fighting with here, and why'd you choose these heroes?
So, I mean, I didn't have the most strategic method. I plopped them in to see what my highest total stats were and my highest HP. These 3 have my highest HP. It's a Dragoon. It's a common Dragoon, but I think it's level 13 or something like that with
nice.
With Resurrection, which I know doesn't play a part in this yet. And then the Dread Knight is Bernard Perrin, my favorite Dread Knight. It's my first uncommon Dread with second life, and I think he's got 700 something HP. And then I've got my in the game, so not in the custom score. And then I've got a Berserker that has just really high HP as well. So I go HP heavy. I've lost a couple rounds going in with some lighter characters. I found that my tanks are a little bit better. I don't know if that's an accurate assessment, but it seems to be working so far, or at least it did on the last forest.
Good deal. I'll be interested to see. We've been doing at least for me, I don't have a lot of high level heroes, so a lot of our testing has been done with level 1, so I'll have to see how it scales. Neindorf, why don't you talk about the level scaling system?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I frequently test with my level 16 Dread Knight and some other guys. So I hit the other end of the spectrum. So I think that's actually really good. I'm glad that you tested level 1. So, but so effectively Skillet and I came up with this cool idea, which is part of, like I mentioned earlier, what makes this a little more difficult. We basically have a pile of dead heroes that are level 1s that have been sacrificed that serve as our library, if you will, of heroes to choose from. And then this is the cool part we implemented in the last week and a half or 2 weeks. Those are all level 1s, right? So if your average of your party averages all at level 10, we basically promote those heroes to level 10. We basically simulate level ups for all of them until level 10, and then we feed that essence of what that hero is into your enemy here. So it's really kind of cool. So there's some interesting things that you can see. And there's a lot of randomness to those level ups, which is why this will play very differently, even though we're using the same library of heroes for bad guys. So that was one of our real cool add-ons here that I think it was really awesome.
Now, I don't want to give too much away here, but I wonder if you find anything special with that Dread Knight you mentioned as you're playing through this dungeon. We do have that kind of standing. We haven't really described what the bounty is. I think we forgot what it was.
I think we did too.
There is an Easter egg that has been kind of hidden in relation to things that the heroes can do that you might be able to find out later. So you guys just gotta the first person, we haven't seen anyone shout it out in chat or in Discord or in voice. So there is an Easter egg out there related to what the heroes can do. So something.
By the way,
Yeah.
huge shout out to Starbucks casually flexing his beefcakes over here. They've got my Resurrection Dragoon. He's common, he's garbage, but he's kind of a beefcake to the average. I mean, kudos, dude. Like, I must say, Mythic Squad, you guys have some pretty badass heroes.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that my deck are the best even on the Mythic Squad, not at all. Not when you've got Johnny at Cal and Mosh and Be Easy doing the things that they're doing.
Casually flexing it, making it look like a pastime here. My heroes are not as cool as yours, but I've got me some nice heroes too. The HP strategy makes a lot of sense, but I like a bit of variety in my team. I'm going with sort of a ninja to maybe make use of that reckless Dark Knight for my brute abilities, and I have a summoner here for the sort of third branch here. What's it called? I'm trying to look for it real quick. Calculated attacks. Trying to sort of round my strategy here. It doesn't mean I'm any better. I was sharing with Raph and Neindorf and the crew here that the squirrels are just kicking my ass. For whatever reason, I always end up with these squirrels, and they embarrass me, and it's kind of pathetic on my end. But I'm learning, and as I'm learning, I'm having fun.
Good. I'm glad you're liking it, and like these, we do try to make the enemies fun. At least I feel like you've done that with the naming convention. Neindorf, I know that was you and Skillet playing. Word Find the one day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I really wanted to talk more about our Easter egg, but it kind of just blew past, didn't it?
I didn't even see it. I'm having.
I must have missed it.
I'm having some technical difficulties, and I'm trying to watch the stream. Starbuck, right before he joined, he's like, "Hey, we've had trouble with getting my Discord to stream, and now I'm having trouble getting Discord to stream." So, if you're out there on YouTube, give me a shout. Let me know if you're seeing this.
It's working. Yeah.
Is it working for you? You can see his.
I got it on my mobile right now to chat.
Okay.
And I can see everything you can see. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see?
Yeah, I don't see anything moving,
I see what would have. Well, it's moving.
Yeah,
it's working.
I do. It's working. Listen, it's working, guys.
Okay.
All right, cool. I'm gonna have to refresh. I bet I just got.
All right. Yell at me, YouTube, or anyone here if it stops working.
Yeah, so I see, you're clicking on Creek or whomever is sharing screen.
Great.
Cabin.
Yeah, audio, everything's working. I just checked.
Excellent.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Don't forget about resting now. Keep in mind here, you guys, you can rest.
Here we go. Oh, crap.
Yeah, so did we see it happen with the Dread Knight?
I don't know.
Oh, giving a lot away here.
Yep, that's all right.
That's funny. Okay.
When this pops,
I didn't see.
When this pops, I have a feeling the Mythic Squad guys are going to be jacked.
I'm expecting a beaver streaking across the screen.
Yes.
You might be sorely disappointed.
You've given me a fountain of new ideas, though. Like, so
just a rabbit beaver. That'd be dope.
Yeah, actually, I'll talk about kind of some
Oh,
new
good luck
ideas.
here.
We have we're working on the Halloween dungeon. That's going to be the next one that we release, and that will be completely new artwork and a lot of new enemy groups. Um, one of the things that I ended up doing, and I did share a very short stream. Sticks intern was giving me crap about it, and we ended up making our own pixel sprite boss, and so we have you can check out the YouTube stream. We have a vampire that we created, and this vampire is we got the animations with him and everything involved. So pretty excited to see what he's gonna look like once Neindorf and Skillet take it and kind of pour it all together and have you fighting off against someone. So we have the ability to kind of make our own enemies now and not just use the pets. And that's something that's getting me excited about the subsequent dungeons.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think, there's as we move into the Halloween season, right? There's some things where we want to do where there's some darker settings. And so, it's kind of funny when you're making a game like this and you have darker pictures and you throw like the bright colored heroes on it. It's like, whoa, like I gotta kind of put a filter over that guy to darken it up. So it's like there's all those little details that kind of go into it, but honestly, it's a lot of fun, like figuring them out and coming up with what's the next cool thing.
For sure.
How do
There you go, saving off that team.
How do I get the credits added again? I forgot.
Oh yeah, so this is actually a great thing to take
here we
everyone
go.
through. Click on the credits tab, and we've separated that. So Neindorf, give us kind of an explanation. Why do we have credits and crystal for wagering on raffle ticket split?
Yep. So the reason we have the split is so credits are kind of, you can buy them ahead of time or keep a stash of them. And effectively, what right now there's not a direct, what do I want to say, feedback loop for those other than you spend them to play. We've got some other cool ideas. Again, I don't really want to get into what we're going to use the crystal behind that yet. I don't want to spill that beans, but the reason we have them separated is because we were going to do everything in terms of credits at one point, but then once the raffle ticket idea came up, we need to know, the credits kind of, you might have bought it with crystal a month ago, and the price of crystal fluctuates a lot. So we couldn't really do that in terms of buying raffle tickets because we need to know what's the current value of the crystal in order for the wholesale contract, to be executed. So that's kind of why we tore them apart. Is one is to play and another is to wager, because you don't have to wager if you don't want to, or it's it. Man, I really want to describe it more. Maybe we just go into it a little bit. So effectively, that quarter that you pay for a credit gives us some capital in order to potentially reward players with loot. And so that's kind of what's on our roadmap. I think that's about as far as I'll go.
Love it. I get it. Well, that makes sense. I would hate to buy a credit and then it not work, or somebody gets to pay for half the price you do because crystal pumps a penny,
Exactly. Yep.
Which today, I don't think anybody's going to be whining about a quarter, but if
it's pegged to a quarter too.
More,
yeah. So if crystal were a quarter, it would be one crystal for one credit. So it just changes over time as the price of crystal fluctuates. So if you play a lot and crystal takes a big dip, you can go in and buy a bunch of credits, and then if it goes back up, well, good for you. Or,
that's
what I
mean? I like that it's a quarter. Kind of fits with the arcade theme. That's awesome.
You got it. That's it.
Your analogy, Starbuck, I was following along when you said crystal pump. Yeah, you lost me there. Just the sense of realism's gone. So you might want to come up with a different one. You said crystal pump. What lies? Kudos to you guys. I have to say, Starbuck. Yeah, you too. Neindorf and Raph. I enjoyed Fight Club, and it wasn't just yet another game I wasn't good at. But I think of pouring, and when I was finding the bloods, I was getting PTSD. What an opportunity to beat up on a pouring. Just reflecting on sort of some of those experiences, and that was fun. I'm really enjoying the aesthetic sort of feel for what you guys have developed here. I know you guys are sort of you know talking it down as a simple rock paper scissors, but quite honestly, if I have to choose between, DFK duels and this, I'm enjoying this a lot better. There's a bit of strategy, and yes, RNG for these games is key, but I'm enjoying sort of the look and the feel, and I find it to be entertaining.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I'll talk to kind of the strategy element first. I mean, this is one that the story actually kind of went over a few months of development. We had like 3 different combat systems developed, and
That's right. Yep.
what we kept going back to is we wanted something that would be fast paced, and we wanted people to be able to go through a dungeon within 10 minutes time. And I think it was Skillet who had the initial idea of there being a rock paper scissors based system, but then we wanted it to be a weighted rock paper scissors, because that's where then like the strategy starts to come into it. And then we added even more complexity with the AIs choose their rock paper scissors based on the stat level up percentages. And so there's actually, like the scientific reasoning behind when an enemy chooses brute versus calculated versus reckless is based on the sum total of the percentages of their stat growth that plays into brute or into reckless or into calculated. And so, their chance of choosing calculated is their percent level up chance for wisdom and intelligence combined together. And so usually for heroes, their stats align with their growth percentages. But as you guys know, that's not always the case. There is randomness in the level up, and therefore there's randomness in the combat system. And so, I appreciate you pointing out that you appreciate this elegance. We wanted something to be fast. And then as the codex for the game proper has started to release, we're like, holy moly, like this is a complex game. And so we saw this as an opportunity for us to go kind of a totally different path and try to pick a game that was more simplistic in style, easier to comprehend and pick up. And it's something that our kids have enjoyed playing too. Right, Nindorf?
Mm-hmm. That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think you had a position based game that was really cool. I think when we had that implemented, we were playing it through in a console, not an animated version, just kind of as a console. And it was really interesting to see how much different they played. I would say that yours played really well. The thing that kind of stuck with us, I think, was there was a big table you kind of had to keep in your head. So what we wanted to do is get back to a simple game where you can see the information on screen and make an informed decision very quickly. And I think a lot of that comes down to our other goal, probably not this year, but hopefully we can start building towards it early next year, is a PvP version of this. And so that's really what we're looking forward to, I think, in Q1, I'm hoping.
Don't be afraid to slap that rest button, Starbuck. I think people are going to have to rest in order to beat this dungeon. It might only be one.
How often should you rest?
Hey, it's up to you.
At least once a night.
I think
I'm looking at the leaderboard. Looks like only one person has successfully completed it and won, and it was Kels, and he got a 93% score. So that's a pretty solid score for a first pass.
How many turns is that then?
51 turns.
Okay, so that's a new top score. Mosh, I saw you just joined. How you doing?
How many turns to complete it?
51 he got through then. Kels did.
Nice. I don't even remember what I did in the first time I did it. Can we go back and look?
But
we don't particularly keep a log of the turn. We keep results for like the final outcome, the turn, the score, what heroes you used, if they died or not. But we don't. We're not currently collecting the turn by turn data.
So clip it or it didn't happen.
That's what I'm hearing.
Okay, all right.
Or you can embellish your stories and make up
I'm pretty
something
sure I got it in
elaborate.
51 on my first try, but you know what? I didn't clip it.
Well, were you talking about the Forest Challenge 2 or the first Forest Challenge? Because they're very different.
Because
I don't know, man.
the new forest challenge, everything is recorded, right, Neindorf? Or it's
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
absolutely. And then,
leaderboard.
like I said,
So this is the new Forest Challenge, right?
Yeah.
yep.
Okay, maybe it was the first one.
Yeah, because
So we
that's, I mean, we just pushed this out in the last 25, 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's
Right.
hot.
Okay.
All right, so Mosh has joined us. He was on a secret mission to go get tacos, I heard.
Yeah, I got home late and yeah, we needed to eat, man. So taco time it was.
Heck yeah.
We had nachos for dinner.
Yeah, I'm kind of regretting the second taco, but we'll see.
Who regrets a second taco? What are you?
Yeah.
Are you
You
really
were-
Mosh? Check if
Yeah.
he's a skinware.
For real.
Yeah.
Now that
No, yeah.
Kylie
Maybe all the mellow
Bone
yellow.
Trapper here, Starbuck, is getting pretty weak.
Yeah.
Raz.
Ah man, gotta
You
rest.
running them into the
So-
ground?
Raph Neindorf, I just learned that you can rest. I must have missed that, and that it's right there. I don't. It's like it's spelled out for me. I was very effective. My speed runs are like 2 minutes, but because I've one not been resting until I keep losing. Now that I know there's a rest and it's right there and it's been there right in front of my eyes, boy. Again, staying true to what I said, what not to do. If you don't want to win, don't rest.
So don't not rest, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
then in this dungeon, I feel like you really have to draw out the map on a piece of paper at home. I think
Yeah, I think
that's
I
what the
need to,
winning
because
strategy is going to
I'm
be.
already lost.
Yeah.
You're wandering aimlessly in the forest.
Basically, yeah. But hey, if I can find the bad guys, I'll make it that much easier.
I'm guessing
I like
there's
this
only...
this creek artwork, Raph.
Oh, you
I
liked
don't
it?
know. This one's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, Sergeant, you mentioned that too. I appreciate that. That's something we've been spending a lot of time on. Is kind of, I'll send some ideas off to Skillet and Neindorf. They give me feedback and they're like, oh yeah, we like this, not like that. We felt like the cartoon style artwork really played well into the entire fit and feel of the otherwise pixelated art, which I tried making pixelated art at first. I think this is the last boss set here, or the last battle set, which is also a mini boss, is the Raging Boar, right?
Yes, sir. Look at that 186 HP.
Yeah, so
I love that, man. I think it's really cool. You guys did awesome.
oh, thank you.
So, Raph, Neindorf, can we talk about a couple of things, like from a noob perspective on this?
Yeah, let's dive in.
Go ahead.
I know you guys had mentioned like 3 primary stats. Which ones were those again? Endurance, vitality, and what?
Let me bring that up. I have a
white
paper on that. Or
I
do
can
you want
start
to bring
speaking to it too.
Yeah, go for it. And it also, if you hit the fact button too, right?
Right. Which skills drive into which attacks?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So brute is a combination of strength and dexterity. Calculated is intelligence and wisdom, and then reckless is this is one I'm pretty sure it's agility and luck.
That's right, luck and agility.
Yep.
And then health is calculated by vitality plus endurance times 3 plus 40.
Yep. There's a formula that Raph put together that kind of helps kind of offset that.
What was the endurance formula for?
So your health is not the health on the card of your hero.
Okay.
Your health, and the reason why we did this is in the game right now in DFK proper, the way that level ups work is it's exponential, and so your health continues to increase over time more than the rest of your stats. And so it was a lot easier and we battled this a lot in Fight Club as people got to higher level heroes. It was hard to create a balanced game when you have your regular stats that grow linearly and you have your health stats that grow exponentially. And so we decided we were going to change health and it's going to be a formula based on vitality and endurance. And what we try to do is be true to the hero cards as much as we can. And we know that people who are maxing vitality and probably endurance are heroes that are otherwise going to have a high health stat in the real game. And so we tried to be as true to that as we could. And so that's where it's vitality plus endurance. Take that sum of those stats, multiply it by 3, and then add an extra 40, which really matters most at low levels. At high levels, that starts to become, that 40 becomes insignificant.
Yeah, so you're pulling up the leaderboard here, and what you're seeing when you click the all button, this will show also the defeats. So you can kind of see it. Here's the total number of games that have been completed so far.
I better get on it.
Oh, I was reading it wrong. I was like, dang it, how'd Sarge beat me? He didn't even say anything?
No, because you see all the heroes there dead, which is why they're not on the normal leaderboard.
Okay. Love it.
Starbuck, did you not hear me? I'm showing people what not to do. Don't lose in 18 turns. Although I should attain some sort of award. I mean, that sounds like a feat in and of itself, to be honest.
And if you scroll down a little bit too here, you can see at the bottom that we put I need to do some rounding, but all the people who have wagered Crystal playing our game, when you buy raffle tickets, and I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but a pretty large portion of the Crystal that you spend on the raffle ticket itself, like not directly spend, but that gets accounted for.
And the same goes for duels. And the same goes for duels as well.
Duels does it too. Yep, that's right. So people playing this game have burned 700 Crystal in the last week and a half. So that's pretty cool too. I wanted to add that stat just as a, we're
all about burning.
Some of our other things.
All about burning.
We like burning too.
Yeah.
Mythic Squad endorses the burning of all
Mythic
things,
Squad stays burning.
Yeah.
I love
No,
that.
that's really cool that it works kind of the same way the game mechanics work with Ether Kingdoms burning. Like
Yeah.
That information is already helping me win on this first go through. So thank you for that explanation.
Oh yeah.
See, I wait till the B figures it out and Starbuck figures it out by watching them, and then I use their strats.
Yeah.
And
So, and we can give for any new. I did notice there are some new people on YouTube, and so I'll give kind of the basic explanation of how we go through our choices in battle. I think Neindorf and I have a pretty similar strategy, but if you have other ideas, Neindorf, go ahead and weigh in. So.
Sure.
I mean, Starbuck, you've done this a few times, so you're going fast. But what I like to look at is the enemies first and look at their brute, their reckless, and their calculated attacks. And just like that, with the greater than symbols, that brute beats reckless, reckless beats calculated, calculated beats brutal. And so I like to pay attention to what do I think the enemies are going to choose. And so this first squirrel. That probably defeated Sergeant Filthy McNasty. He's got a strong.
These squirrels like rabbit or something.
Yeah. So this is a feral squirrel, and he has a 58 attack. So that must have been based off of like a wizard or a sage or a summoner or something with high magic usage with that level up. And so he will likely choose calculated. And so I'm probably going to choose like a hero with a high reckless stat to fight against that squirrel. In point number 1, because in this case he has a 26, but at worst I'll probably tie to him. Now, of course, as I told
What makes up
Starbucks
reckless?
to do this,
Way to
he
go,
zigged.
Raph.
He zigged. He zigged when we thought he'd zag. And so
man.
these
Alright.
these little squirrels, they're little dirty SOBs. We'll say that.
Let's just say they're sons of beavers we don't like.
Yeah, so
Right.
they don't, and that's where some of the randomness comes in. And so like if you actually like look at it, the behind the scenes, it's like he has like it would be probably approximately like a 40% chance to choose calculated. Then it would be like and then evenly split between the other two. And I'm just guessing without looking at the underlying stats. But, there's still a Mashad's, far greater than Mashad's percentage of them selecting the other attack styles.
And yeah, a lot of times what I'll do too is I will pick the same stat that they're likely to choose, because if you play the odds in the long run, even a draw,
You could
since
win.
you can rest between turns, you win on draws, sort of,
Mhm.
kind of. So
Yeah, shout
that's
out
something I
Sticks
like to do
Intern.
too.
That's something that he was employing a lot. I saw him poke in here on chat on voice a little bit. He's welcome to jump back in if he
I
wants.
think that was his superior.
Oh, that was
Sticks.
that was Sticks Senior.
That
Yeah.
was 6. Yeah,
He
I'm
came-
convinced
Senior.
He came in to
Senior,
supervise. That's
Six
awesome.
Senior.
did. He did. What? Yeah, and I'm sort of curious. I know Crystal makes a lot of sense why you would, use Crystal as the main token, sort of operate sort of some of the behind the scene things. Had you guys given thoughts to any other sort of um in-game token? I know you guys are big on burning gold in general. Again, I can see why it makes complete sense to make use of Crystal, but any other thoughts using any other in-game tokens?
For the raffle tickets alone, we had to use Crystal, because that's just how that's the power token supported by the smart contract. Um,
Got it.
and
What
so
if
that
you
was
guys-
kind of the choice there.
What if you had like a high wager, like portion of the game where it was to the death? So like
Now you're
players
talking.
that play this game a lot, you know what I mean? That really got good strat and are in this game can do like a fight to the death, and there's like some sort of reward if you live, or if you die, you lose your hero. It's just burned.
Yeah, we've talked about that actually. The trouble, the kind of the wrinkle in it is we don't ever take possession of any of these heroes. Like when you list a hero for sale in the
Yeah.
tavern, what people forget is that you actually don't have that hero in your wallet anymore. It's an escrow. So we would have to do a very similar thing where they would have to send in their hero to our contract or our account and trust that we'll give it back. And
But is it doable?
it is definitely doable. Yes.
I
It's just a matter of.
I think that would be dope. There's a lot of heroes out there. I mean, we're trying to do our part, Mythic Squad, and burn as many of them
I
as
love that.
possible for the community. It's for the community, really.
Yeah.
But any sort of burn mechanic for the heroes would be sick. You know what I mean?
I know
Oh,
that's something
absolutely.
Neindorf has wanted to do for a long time, and we've pitched a few ideas to the DeFi Kingdoms team. Like, talk through your like heroes die on a quest idea. I think it's brilliant, Neindorf.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, the boar hunts are great. It's a good starting point, but I think as we get more advanced quests that are outside of town, there needs to be a death element. And now, say you got this baller hero, right? That's got the great genes, and you get unlucky, and you get whatever a wild charge is in the new enemy, and it knocks you out, and you're dead. So that would be really terrible, especially when you've invested so much time and effort into these heroes. And that's kind of where my idea came in, is what if you had, say, I don't know, a few days in order to march out, say, 2 common heroes to go sacrifice to resurrect that hero on the map. And then you're burning other heroes, you're burning floor heroes. And then you can bring back your monster, and maybe he's exhausted, and you have to you got to bring him back to town, and maybe he's got like negative 100 stamina, or something crazy. But I think you can definitely get people who, if you don't have some mechanism like that, it's going to be really hard for people to wager these beast heroes to death, right?
You gotta, yeah. I mean, there's too much invested into making,
Right.
some of these heroes that there's got. But the burn mechanism of 2 common heroes or fodders or whatever, send out and sacrifice them for the monster. That's an awesome burn mechanic.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Creative. Yeah, it's cool.
So I really hope we can get to that point where that's, you're not. They don't want to shy away from people like playing the game. And if death is a huge part of the game, and you have a really good hero, you're not going to want to use him, but then that kind of defeats the purpose of having them. So they need to support usage of heroes, even in the face of potential death.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it.
All right. Sergeant, do you want to play and go on screen here? We can give you a chance.
Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of adding more credits. Let me do that real quick. But while I'm doing that, a general question for you all. I mean, what was the impetus behind developing the game? I mean, it's
we started honestly.
You guys are rocking stuff out.
Thank you. We started talking about some of the ideas came when we were kind of partnering with Joseph on Fight Club, and we knew for a while that he was thinking about potentially porting his game over to do something else, and that's exciting for him. I think he got picked up. I can't remember what network he got picked up on, but I believe he actually got a grant for his game. And we wish him all the best. But we are kind of DeFi Kingdom's maxis, and so as we saw that happening, and we saw him starting to build dungeons, we kind of came up with our own creative brainstorming ideas on like, well, what would we do if we built the game? And Skillet and Neindorf have been coding the website on the back end for a while, and so I think it was like around the February timeframe this year, Neindorf, that we really got to it, and we're like, should we do this? Is this possible? Is it viable? And we decided, you know what, like, let's give it a shot. And so we've been building this since February. If my date's right there, Neindorf, I think.
That sounds right. And I think I would say that the unlocker was really once we realized that you can use like these AI generated artwork, because otherwise we would have had no way to draw and show and render these things, right? Like that was kind of that technology being more prevalent is kind of what opened up the door for us to even chase this, I would say.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that technology made it possible,
Yeah.
How quick it happened.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, just imagine 5 years from now with the crazy AI shit that's being tested right now.
I think games in the future. I think games in the future will be all like AI generated, or that you could have games that are completely
like original
AI generated.
gameplay for these players.
Yeah, like it just generates it on the fly, customized to your decisions and your choices, and gives you options. And like, I actually had like an idea that was going that direction for a while, like that it was a completely AI driven dungeon, but that technology is not here yet. So for years in the future. All right, so Sergeant, we're watching you now. Walk us through the team that you have. Who'd you choose?
So my first Dark Knight hero, PJ Hero, double resurrection, double second life, possible deniability, Starbucks.
Sounds like a unicorn.
Sounds like,
Mythic,
yeah,
shiny, Greater Stone.
Greater Stone. It was one of those first, reverse engineered Greater Stone heroes, one of the test ones.
Yeah.
You jealous yet, Mythic Squad? No, they're actually all PJ heroes. I don't have many PJ heroes. But when I have an opportunity to sort of rock them out, I can, or I do. Primarily because they end up being sort of my higher level heroes, so I like to play with them when it comes to games like these.
In the case of this game, the PJ stats absolutely help you a lot. I think effectively PJ is like equal to 3 average level ups. And so if I remember from my statistical analysis days of looking at hero stats, and so I mean I think in a way it is, the enemies will be based off of your hero levels, not off your stats. And so if you have a hero that has a greater stone or a higher rarity and gets those bonuses, like, you will be in a better position to win. So good choice there.
I don't know about you, but that stag got me worried, man. He looks heavily caffeinated. Why?
That's so I was talking with Skillet about this. I cannot see this. I've played on 5 or 6 different PCs, and I've never seen the heroes go double time. Wasn't it Sir Worm had that happen to him last week?
Yeah.
That's wild.
And so I want to say it's to people. Maybe do you have a monitor with like a super high refresh rate or something?
I do. It was so funny because I heard you talk about some of the improvements you guys made. I was like, wow, this is like, it's very spiffy, like caffeinated, dude. These enemies are on cocaine, bro.
Cocaine wolf.
Dude. Like intimidating. Holy shit.
What I told Styx Intern last podcast is Neindorf, we need to get the forager from Serendale over here into the images.
Absolutely. Yeah, and make him go double speed.
Yeah. Does anyone remember the forager from Serendale?
Mm-hmm.
Don't remind me.
He was
Right.
picking berries behind a bush or something.
Oh yeah. What's he up to?
He's working on something. That's what we know.
Yeah. I think the bee put it everywhere. So
So a quick update here. It looks like on the leaderboard, Six Intern is in the lead with 48 turns
Oh.
Oh.
committed.
with a score of 96%.
He clearly
Wow.
didn't get lost in the forest.
I knew you guys would be talking about it live on stream, so he's out there stunting.
That's how it rose.
So that's pretty
And,
good.
yeah.
I'm
That's
excited
really-
to see
that's
people
really good.
crack par.
Yeah.
My Sticks intern, he's you know, I guess I can start calling him a gamer. He's been
I don't think he sleeps either.
it's too, I don't think many DFK people sleep.
I don't
or
sleep very
sleep
much.
well.
And when I go to bed, he's still up, and when I get up, he's still up. So
That's awesome.
I only get like 3-4 hours of sleep a night, so I just don't know how he does it. And then he's got all those ferrets and shit too. It's like he's like heaping it on himself.
New record, 19 turns.
I would have punted. I love animals. Let me put that out there. But I would have punted those freaking ferrets long ago, dude. The amount of work he put into those. I don't even know if they're ferrets. That's what I'm calling
Guinea
them.
pigs. Guinea
Guinea
pigs.
you go.
pigs.
Whatever they are.
Oh Lord.
Does
I'm
he even
gonna-
have
I'm
kids?
gonna-
Probably shaking his head right now, like.
Does he even have kids? I don't think so, right? Like,
His kids are his guinea pigs.
yeah, I got it. Oh, he's gonna hate
Yeah.
me, but I love him still. It just
I
seems like a
love
lot of responsibility, you know. Being a
Oh my
guinea
god,
pig.
I have to do a plug because Sticks intern was gonna be there. For some reason, the guy thinks the B-52s are better than a DFK hangout. Go figure.
Yeah.
But we are
he
having a
not see his
DFK
comment?
hangout.
I mean, he's just a good employee. His wife's the boss for sure.
Happy wife, happy life, right?
Yeah,
Happy
he's a
wife,
smart
happy
man.
life, I
Yeah.
guess.
You know
we
what
are
they
having a
say?
hangout.
Happy husband stays.
Facts.
Doesn't rhyme, but it's facts.
That's
Dude,
good.
I'm in the zone right now,
Hear
but
that, Mrs. Starbuck, if you're watching. No, I'm just joking.
couple of these captions, huh?
All right. So how many
November
games
18th.
do we have played total here, Neindorf? I'm bringing up the leaderboard on screen.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
I think we're chilling about 14 completed games at the
14
moment.
completed games. All right, so we're at like 50 minutes in, 55 minutes in. So that means we got an hour and 5 minutes left, and we are going to be drawing for a greater stone if we can get to 75 games played. So we got some work to do.
I
Yelling
can't
at the
wait
community.
till you have a. I was gonna say I can't wait till you have a Perilous Sea, and like Perilous Sea themed. There's got to be an ocean theme for all of our.
Oh, there is. There
water
is.
pets. And if I don't see a Captain Starbuck in there, I'm gonna riot. I'm just joking.
Hey, that's actually that's a we need more non-playable character material, so that's good. That's good.
A Yeti Mosh, throw it on the table
Yeti Mosh.
with sunglasses
Captain
and a
Starbuck.
robe.
It's a mosh kid.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you
Mosh
go.
kid, there you go. Mosh
Yeah.
kid.
I'll let you run with it,
Mosh
man.
wizard.
Surprise me.
I'm gonna have to step out, crew. But one petition for you all who are watching, listening, tweet this out. Let your friends know. Come hang out. It's you know, we're all learning together. Some of us are better at it than others. Starbuck, you just gotta keep rubbing it in. Sticks intern rocking it out. I want to see Sticks intern defeated by the end of this. Someone dethrone him. Make him cringe.
I am working on it in the shadows. Okay.
Share that
harder.
screen.
My money's on the intern, dude. That guy's focused. He's probably already got all his guinea pigs fed and in bed, and he's rocking out right now, man.
Is there a bathrobe in the mix? That's the question. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
most definitely. And you know it's purple. You know it's purple.
Point.
Yeah.
All right, hey, Raph, Neindorf, thank you very much.
Yeah,
for
thanks for
inviting me
jumping on.
Yeah, let's make the let's continue to do some of these. They're fun.
Love it.
Have a good
Absolutely.
night,
Thank
Sarge.
you.
Good night.
All right, so I'm bringing the promo back up on screen for a little bit, and I'm gonna bring up Discord now.
Yeah, this.
Man,
is-
I finally
yeah.
found this savage squirrel. That thing. I traveled around the map like 3 times. I swear, looking for it. Where did everything go wrong? I got lost.
That's awesome.
Probably shouldn't smoke so much before playing this game.
Well, I thought I was in the zone. I was really just. I found every trap and hazard in the game so far, and I just really had my head on a swivel. But I got lost there. I got to admit that.
Speaking of getting in the zone, I gotta step aside to refill the drink here, so I'll be back in a moment.
There you go. Got to do that.
So yeah, I mean your turn count here is still pretty low. You're in good shape. The
Should
trick there with the
should
4
I
HP
share
left.
my screen?
What's that?
Should I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not sure who. Oh yeah, we're watching. Oh yeah, I was just watching someone else's. Turns out there's too many games being played.
I'll share my screen.
He probably won't be able to switch to it at the moment, but that's cool.
Oh yeah. That work?
But we can see.
Let's-
Okay. So are these squirrels badass? I heard these squirrels were badass.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're rocking the white background. You should swap that real quick. I definitely have not.
How do I do that, dude?
So if you scroll all the way up to the top of the screen, top of the website.
You put me on blast like that. Okay.
So click that little button next to log out, that little moon thing.
There you go.
Oh, boom.
There
Thank
you have it.
dude, man. ADFK boys, they're all right in my book. Swear.
Well, you know, you got more features than anybody needs. Shoot them in our suggestion box. We're always building something.
Built-in chat. Built-in chat.
I've never really been a good suggestion box guy, but I'll just say something to you.
Absolutely.
Start playing.
I am. I appreciate you guys taking in that feedback. I think I had a wish of you guys being able to have the traits as soon as you hover over them, the recessive show, and I think it was
Yeah.
like a week those were built in.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah, you bet.
These
Yeah, we got a
squirrels
pile of them out there now too. Because we solicited some, feedback. That kind of got paused so we could get some of this game pushed out. We'll circle back around to those suggestions. We haven't forgotten about them for sure.
All right, how's that? How's that for the first time doing Force 2?
Not bad. That's
Don't
pretty
be
solid.
nice. Be real with me. Come on.
I've not actually played this dungeon, so I don't actually know.
My sage died in the second encounter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you survived pretty well considering that.
Hey,
Okay,
you're on the board for being eligible for prizes, so that's what matters tonight.
I am? Sweet. Good vibes, yo. All right, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna run it back.
Okay. I'm gonna not share your screen anymore, and they could go directly from yours now because I gotta go take care of the Gen 1. So
Yes.
thanks you guys for having me on.
Yeah, take care. I'll join your stream in a little bit.
Yeah, I'll see you in an hour. Take
Yep.
care. Bye
Later.
Later, Starbuck.
Later, man.
All right, so who's up now? Who we got?
I'm not even ready to play. I got home late.
I'm playing again with the same team. Let's
Yeah.
see. I'm gonna really look at my heroes after the Mythic Squad stream and come back tonight. I'll probably stay up too late, but this is pretty fun. I'm enjoying this, guys.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Is it less stressful than fighting boars? Because I don't know about you, but I get pretty worked up. Those boars really get to me.
Based off of the social media fucking posts, the board be kicking.
Yeah. Listen. I love the Mythic Purple on the beef too. Your AI does great work. Okay? Don't curse me, second best dad, but
AI intern.
boys are gonna
Uh,
great work, Raph.
Thanks.
it's like Smokey the Bear, but it's Smokey the Beaver.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
In the
perfect.
beard, I'm trying to fulfill this NPC's reality by growing my beard out even more. To be continued, but we'll see. We'll see. It's getting there, boys.
Never in your life will your beard look like that. It just won't.
That's too bad. I
might
hope
get some of that.
I'm rocking a
I might-
pretty solid beard right now. I think I could compete.
Oh, you are? When
Oh,
you start growing?
Dude, you gotta send a selfie. Send a selfie.
Probably
Yeah.
about like 6 weeks, I'd say.
Wow.
Nice. All right, so
I usually
Sticks.
start about Thanksgiving.
Sticks, I saw
Sticks and
you
you,
ask for help on YouTube chat, and I said jump in. So if you want to share your
Yeah.
screen, feel free to, and
Okay.
we'll kind of walk you through it.
Okay, cool. I'll do that.
Yeah, this one is definitely more difficult, and like we said earlier, that was intentional. We had people crushing par last week, and so now we haven't gotten par yet, but that's
What's
the night's young.
what's the best attack on these squirrels? Like, what would be like the best stats to have?
On the
If it was
squirrels,
me, I see that 41. I would. Well, there you go.
you got him. All right, I'm
Nailed
gonna
it.
switch
Yeah,
over
turns,
to
man.
Sticks' stream here. So you're still on the tutorial here, so you can enter in
I guess.
one hero for the tutorial, right, Neindorf?
That's right. Yep. It's
Yep.
basically just a single
And
hero.
you should be able to hit that play button now.
Okay.
Uh,
You want
So I gotta play the tutorial first.
Yeah, and I would recommend it. I don't know how much of the stream you've caught, but so we've distilled the combat system into 3 actions. And so think of it like rock, paper, scissors. And those actions are, it's a 2-button system. So highlight, continue. Oh, you're doing the story mode tutorial. So, right, Neindorf? Isn't that this?
Yeah. Do you want to hit the moon looking thing at the very top
Okay.
right to go to a dark background?
There
We
you go.
definitely have not designed this for the light version. There we go.
So should I not do the story mode? What are you guys doing?
So we're doing the PvE. So story mode, I'm hoping a lot of people like this too. This is going to be less kind of juicy rewards and more just like having fun, immersing yourself into what your Sticks intern likes to call the GCU. But we can get out of this for now, for tonight. Click on arcade again.
So I might have to do a
then
little magic. I think
go to
typically you
PvE.
got to play through.
Oh, you do have to play through. I thought just a combat demo.
Oh, you
So
got to start
click-
with the combat demo.
Yeah, click on the
That's
combat
cool.
demo.
Enough.
And then go down and hit play. And you have to select the hero first.
I might have been vibing too hard, boys. I forgot to rest.
Did you get wrecked?
No, I'm about to fight these raging boars on a rocky trail, and it doesn't look good for my sage, but we're gonna try.
Ooh, he's soloing it.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I thought I had to go solo. No?
on
This one you can do up to 3.
oh,
but
on
you're
the
good.
you can
I mean,
on this.
You can try it.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry, Sticks. I'm leading you
Gotta
astray
go,
here.
bad
My
boy.
bad.
The story mode one is a single hero, but the other ones you can do anywhere from 1, 2, or 3. It's kind of up to you.
But the tutorial should be pretty easy, I think.
Yeah, you can't lose the tutorial.
Okay. All right, so
not
here
that
it starts to
bad.
introduce the combat system. We have the rock, paper, scissors are brutal, reckless, and calculated. So if you look down at the very bottom left of the screen, you see your hero that you selected. Brutal is a combination of strength and dexterity. Reckless is a combination of luck and agility. And calculated is a combination of wisdom and intelligence. And then your health, the 205, is probably a different number than what you see on your hero card. It is a different number than what you see on your hero card. And that's a combination of your vitality and your endurance stat.
Okay.
And so then the enemies that you're facing off against, you see what their brutal, reckless, and calculated stats are. Now, an enemy with a high brutal attack or a high reckless or high calculated, they are more likely to choose that, whatever is the highest number, as their selection for rock, paper, scissors. And so it's a bit of a rock, paper, scissors mind game. And so when you're facing off against these guys in the red room, the brutal room, you are likely going to want to choose a calculated attack to face off against them. And so you can go ahead and try that. And so he actually also chose a calculated attack. And so a draw, if you both threw calculated, a draw means you split the damage. And so I would try doing a calculated attack again here. And you beat him. And so you do all of your calculated damage. Now, your hero is a hero that favors brutal damage. And so when you go to play the Forest Dungeon Part 2 later, what I would recommend is bringing a magic user and then bringing like a ninja or a thief or a monk, someone who would have a high reckless ability too. So you want to have like a balanced team. So depending on the enemy that comes out there, you can select a hero that you're going to, be highly likely to be able to counter. Okay. All right, so you've beaten this guy, and then you're ready to move on to the next room.
So should I start over with 3 guys then?
No.
You keep going. You're good.
Make it through this. You'll be fine.
You can do a rest if you're worried, but I don't think you'll need to.
Well, so if I lose and I want to start over, can I still use the same hero? There's no cooldown for these heroes.
Yeah, there's no cooldown.
Correct.
So what we do is we're just checking the heroes that you have in your registered wallet on the site, and we're not consuming stamina. That's something that we have talked about, and Hubert has kind of tentatively given us the blessing for in the future for us to be able to deliver experience to heroes for going through quests. But in order to do that, we would have to interact with stamina. And that's not something that we've done before. And that's something that has, I would say, a fair amount of complications to it. So we'll have to work that through in the future. But that's something that we'd like to get to. In all honesty, like something that we've thought about is, some really high risk, high reward quests, where you can only send a hero out once a month, and it might cost a lot of crystal, but you could gain a boatload of experience. And so that's something that we've been thinking about that we'd be interested in doing if the DeFi Kingdoms team kind of lets us go that path. I think they still feel very strongly that they don't want people to have to come to a game outside of theirs in order to play or win. And so I think we'll always be playing within the rules that allow us to support and complement their game, never to kind of go around it. All right, so now you can unlock the other PvE missions. You can go through.
Oh, I see. So that was a free play. Gotcha.
Yeah, so now we can do Forest Challenge Part 1. And do you have to do Forest Challenge Part 1 to get to Forest Challenge Part 2, Nydorf?
Yeah, it's kind of a progression at the moment.
Okay.
Oops. Ooh, it looks like you had a pretty solid level up there. Just snuck past.
Yeah, I'm just leveling up this common goon that I DS, and I'm gonna DS it with another common sage.
Gotta click all the buttons.
Yeah,
Let's do an update here. It looks like the intern has we got another lead change here. Well, I don't know if it's a lead change or a lead improvement. You've got a 43 is the current leaderboard.
Pretty darn good.
That's driving down there again, isn't it? 100%. That's the first 100% score.
All right, so Styx, as you're selecting your heroes, I'm not kind of catching quite who you're picking here. I would recommend picking guys that are similar in level.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take this level 10 Dread Knight that I just had, this level 11 Sage.
Oh, nice.
And then
Change my
I think I'll take. Would a Spellbow be good with those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this level 10 Spellbow.
The spellbow is kind of interesting because a high dex gives you a fairly not a terrible brute
A good
attack, honestly.
brutal attack as well. Yeah,
You
that's
know,
true.
do subclasses
Well,
matter
what
in
is-
this?
Subclasses and classes do not matter right now. It's just how those level ups affect your stat growth.
Okay.
And we do have a plan for that to matter in story mode. We are going to incorporate a way for visual genes to play a role in story mode. And so just like there's a reckless, brutal, and calculated style attack, we're going to create a conversational engine that's similar to the battle engine. And so the conversation engine is going to be based on the visual looks of your hero and then also the class of your hero. And so you could persuade someone, you could intimidate them, or we're trying to come up
Charm,
with
I believe.
Charm. Yeah, I wanted to say seduce.
I need to add
That's not very
Crystal,
PC. But you don't. You can play without wagering Crystal.
Right.
Your credit, you just
That's
need the
only
credits.
if you want raffle tickets.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, darn it! It cleared my heroes.
Yeah, I think now you just have to select your heroes and you should be good.
You know who you're talking to, though, right? Like that's
Now I just need to.
If there's an option to wager, he's gonna wager.
Oh, you gotta click. Yeah, you gotta click the map you want to play first, and then because what happens is when you click that icon, it'll basically filter out your teams. Like if you have a one person only team.
How do you set
you
up the
know.
teams again? Which button do you click to go there, Neindorf?
Yeah, so if you back up a page to the before you go in, you're in the PvE section. So if you go to arcade, right. Yep. So then if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a manage teams button, and then here's where you can save off. You put a name in, and save off whatever it is that you like.
Okay.
It got to be your heroes, of course.
Yep. Can't steal moshes.
Yeah. Well, for a while I thought I had that implemented, and I totally had forgotten to. And yeah, I was using heroes 1, 2, and 3 for the longest time, just because it was easy.
You don't own Heroes 1, 2, 3.
No, not quite. I don't have Fox's thief.
One of them's his for sure.
I think number 1 is a Mythic Thief, I believe.
Yeah, Frida Firefox or something.
Firewolf.
Firewolf. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah.
In order of heroes don't matter.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, this is not a positional game. It's us versus them.
Yeah. All right. So now you just choose this team. So wager
That's good for you to
Crystal
walk through
would.
that.
So I can't play for raffle tickets unless I wager Crystal, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Let's just try one here and see how it goes. And then I'll start doing some DGen wagering.
It was funny. Raph, you should talk about the raffle ticket max and how that was fun.
So we, well, Stick's intern broke it like the first day. That's why we can't have these things. So we are limiting raffle ticket wagers to 1,000 Crystal at the moment, because that gets you at 100% score on a dungeon. Is it 83,000 tickets, right, Neinar?
Yeah, it's a lot of tickets.
That's a lot of tickets.
But we're in the down season right now. And so if you want to go win some of those prizes, this is a great opportunity. And so we ended up needing to get our issue limit. We were limited to 1 million raffle tickets per day. And I don't know if Zipper has increased it for us yet, but I have an ask out there for 5 million raffle tickets per day. If we're approaching our limit, it just won't let you wager. And so it will, I can't remember what error message it'll throw up, but come back the next day if you want to play at the high stakes table. 1,000 crystals what you can wager now, but like really are with our limit, you can only do that 12 times a day, or 12 different people or 12 players doing that a day to really max us out, which we did the first time that we opened this up.
Yeah, and I would say too.
Reckless beats calculated. Sorry.
Yep. The greater than signs on the bottom help you.
Yeah. So brute beats reckless, reckless beats calculated, and then it loops back around. Calculated beats brutal.
Yeah, I think the thing to note too is if you ever did wager and it got declined because we hit our limit, we've got records of everything that's going on and all the crystal that people have wagered, and I just had to wait for the day to roll over, and then I was able to manually issue him his tickets with our wallet. So rest assured, we'll get you your tickets if we hit a limit. But I mean, we haven't hit nearly as many tickets. So it was just for that initial event where we had a lot of people wagering some pretty hefty amounts.
So yeah, as I'm looking at that second, I think calculated, that's a good choice. I'm surprised that he keeps throwing reckless. He's really zigging. He's zigging while you're zagging. But it's like his least amount of damage. So I think you could go brutal against him too. And then, you know, if you both face off with brutal, you could draw.
Went reckless again.
Yeah. That little butthead.
And the other thing I would keep in mind too is when you're picking an action and a hero, like say he had 40 HP left, and you probably don't want to pick a hero that's got 39 attack, you know, because you're effectively going to have to waste a turn one way or the other.
So your sage got slapped around there a little bit. I would recommend resting.
Yeah. Okay.
Here. And so now what you're doing is you're navigating through this dungeon, which is an assortment of rooms, and you're trying to clear all the enemies inside the forest dungeon. And so the real overachievers at home, they'll draw out a map next to them on a piece of paper and say, all right, I know that this path leads to the haunted cabin and to the east path. And then you could actually draw out the game state that we have on the back end, or you could just click through it if that's what you want to do. So here you got some shadow blobs.
Yeah, so I'm just clearing out all the monsters.
Yeah, it's a dungeon clear is the competition here. We'll have other styles of competitions in the future, like find the boss, beat the boss. Neindorf and Skillet have something cooked up for Halloween. Do you want to share what that is?
Not exactly. I would say the concept that you came up with, and we're going to kind of have some fun with it, is that effectively it's getting darker as you progress through, into the twilight, and that's going to kind of figure prominently into the next dungeon that we build. And then I would say too that we're hoping to start to see that inventory or quest items tab there start to get filled out perhaps on the next one.
Yeah, so we might have a secret room, right, where you need a key to get into the secret room, maybe.
A key is a distinct possibility.
I like it.
Yeah, and that's another action that right now, searching your disarming traps that might exist. Then when you run into a trap, it throws you into a random room. In the future, traps could hurt you, traps could do other things, but also searching could let you find a treasure chest or, some kind of hidden area. It could be a shortcut in a future dungeon when you search. And if you look at Forest 2, it actually starts to give you some flavor text of, when you search and you pass a search, it tells you it challenged your agility or it challenged your strength, right? And so that's another Easter egg that we have hidden there. Everyone passes when you search those challenges, but in the future, those searching challenges might actually be based on a higher stat value. That you need to have a really, like we have an idea of like there's a boulder blocking a shortcut, and you need to pass a strength challenge to push the boulder out of the way in order for you to take the shortcut. But if you just have monks, wizards, and a thief on your team, you're probably not going to pass the strength test.
Oof, you made it through, but we lost.
Yeah, so he's done now. I can't rest, and there's no revive.
Correct.
That is correct.
No resurrection yet. We would like that in the game at some point.
That might be another inventory item or a quest item as something that could resurrect a hero perhaps. So we've got lots of cool ideas. And Raph, you were talking about the stat challenge showing on that bottom right. That's kind of the bottom right is kind of where we put log information or interesting things that happen, kind of as you're playing the game. So that's where you'll see what stat was challenged, and you kind of make mental notes of these sorts of things.
Now you're gonna
And
want
there also might
you're gonna
be-
want to search here because you fell into the trap the last time. Here at the
Oh, what
cart
does search
path.
do?
So in this case, it allows you to
See, there you
disarm a
see.
trap.
And it said on the bottom there that your hero passed the luck challenge. So this was a challenge of luck, and your heroes, the 2 remaining heroes had enough luck that they were able to disarm the trap.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Sergeant Felton McNasty's nemesis.
Oh, that's not...
Squirrels. Ooh, they got quite a bit of HP too, don't they?
Yeah, they're mean mofos.
Oh,
There goes one.
yeah.
Nicely
You
done.
slapped him hard.
Get
The
out of
spell
here.
bow has great. I mean, it's well rounded.
It really does have some nice hits.
It's sneaky. I've never tried one.
Let's go.
Yeah. He's got
Ooh,
4
see,
4 life
damn.
left.
It's
That's
that
where
high
it gets.
dex, that high
it's
dex
tough.
with the belly.
Let's go. Come on, take him down.
What'd you use to kill that first squirrel?
Ooh. Tough hit.
Good. Yeah, we got him down
Split.
now.
Now
Man,
I
I'm
would,
gonna play right into the stinking Mythic Squad stream because I'm having so much fun right now. I haven't been talking.
Boom.
I love how I restart and I see Beeve. I see what you guys are trying to do there. I'm always so excited to start. I'm like, oh, look at that handsome beaver.
All right. So,
Never heard that
Hey,
before.
be
you
careful.
might
want to
you might
if
want
I
to
were
rest.
you.
Yeah, you might want to
oh yeah,
rest.
good call. Good
And
call.
I would say maybe even twice.
Yeah, that's probably a solid idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Look at that.
Now you're ready
Clearing
to
the
go.
new one. I've not been to clearing.
You've
right?
not been to the clearing yet.
Oh, let's go. Oh, I'm gonna smack him right here. Only 32. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
You're doing good.
Yeah. That's why you rested.
Yeah, that
I think
that protective deer's got a
calculated-
big brute.
calculated still a pretty good. A draw, you knocked him out. So
Yep.
I
See,
mean,
there's where the draw's a win.
yeah.
Yeah.
So now 57. He's got 57 HP. So the real comes down to, do you have a move that seems likely to win that would knock him out?
Yeah.
And that's where you would want to say, yeah, your middle hero has an 81 calculated. So yeah, that's a huge number.
Oh, he keeps
Oof.
using that reckless on you. You could try using brute with your hero 3.
Get him
Yeah.
with the skelly.
Oh, it's
And see, that's where a draw is still like you're working them down.
Yeah.
And now I would pick hero 3 for sure, so you avoid a death.
Yeah. A brute seems like,
oh my
ooh,
gosh.
that's
Yeah.
surprising. Man, he's zigging
Uh.
when you're zagging. He's got you pegged.
Get him with the
Could go
reckless.
calculated
Ooh,
again.
we
That's-
got-
Yeah.
I better
there we go.
do a refresh on the.
On the leaderboard.
Oh,
yeah.
look at this Forest Challenge 2. I see it in the chat now too. Delay took the lead with a 42.
Oh.
Ooh.
Well, these guys
Oh,
are crazy.
man.
Wait, so how's 43? Is that decent?
Congrats, Delay.
That's the second best. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
bro.
Oh, so you're on Forest Challenge 1, Sticks.
Ah,
So-
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so now you can do Forest Challenge 2, which is
He's like, I'm great. I'm the best.
Forest
Look.
Challenge 2 is a lot harder.
I'm the greatest in the world.
He was
that's
so hyped,
awesome.
man.
We're climbing. We're climbing with the number of plays here. This is good. This
It's
is
don't
a
have
lot
to watch
fantastic.
longer for the climb.
If someone else wants to go, we don't have to watch me this whole time here.
All right. Well, I appreciate it because it helps us also. I think there's some new viewers that keep coming in. So
Teachable moments, right?
yeah, this leaderboard. Okay, 42. Yeah, Delay sneaking in there with 100% score. And 42. So all 3 heroes lived with a 14, a 13, and a 14. So I love that you could see the hero IDs too. So you could go
Yeah.
scope out the competition. iOS
That's
code
cool.
up there as well. Ghost
Yeah,
Panda
he jumped up.
there. Ghost Panda, welcome. I saw you in YouTube chat earlier. Love the YouTube videos you've done for Dragon's Crossing. Let us know if you got suggestions or ideas on what you'd like to see in the game. And then Sir Worm coming in next. That's awesome.
Yeah, we've got
Oh my
a
god.
well, the leaderboard's going to be filled with 80s and 90s here pretty soon. Percentages, I think.
Yeah. All right, this
Wow,
is
he's
fantastic.
going reckless on me. Come on. Jeez.
Ooh, 5 short. That's a draw that hurts a little bit.
I mean, he's just throwing me off.
These squirrels are hard.
This is why Sergeant doesn't like them.
Oh my
I'm-
gosh.
Delay,
They're
if you
so
want to
unpredictable.
Delay, if you want to jump on chat, I'd love to know how many times you rested on Forest Challenge 2. That's been a question that's kind of come up a couple times, and
Did I rest here? I mean, how much HP do you need generally?
I would resting resting. How much health do you gain again?
It's in the frequently asked questions. There's a formula.
Oh,
and
hit
I think
that!
it's got
Hit
to
the
do
fact
with,
button down there, Sticks,
Yeah, it'll take you
to a new page.
So if you keep scrolling, should be something about what is rest. There you go. There's your formula.
Okay.
So once you do it a few times, you'll get a feel for how much your heroes recover. I wouldn't rest if you're not gonna gain everything that you can from the turn. So if you're like at 90% health and you'd go up to like 110%, you're only going to go to 100%. So it's probably not the turn to rest. You probably look like you have enough health that I would keep chancing it.
Yep. Oh yeah, and you got 2 enemies here, so you're in good shape.
Yeah.
It's because if one gets low, you can always opt out of that hero for the round,
Yeah.
which is kind of gets you in a power position.
So we talked about the sinister. We've talked about like the kind of mini bosses a little bit, but Ninderf, dive into a little more like what's the math behind a mini boss that just
Yeah,
got erased.
so-
The Sinister Blood was a mini boss and he got erased. Now here I'm going to give you a tip because a lot of the leaderboard winners probably already have this. Hit the search button. Oh, never mind. Sinkhole.
Fell into the sinkhole.
Hey,
What is
actually, that it puts you in a random. So there are a lot more traps in this room now, or in this dungeon, and so here you can hit the search button and you disarm the trap. A trap throws you into a random room.
Okay. But
but-
this worked. 'Cause
This
now I
worked,
get it.
yeah. You
you're
didn't
in
have
good
to
shape.
waste turns looking around. Worked in your favor.
Yeah. There
So
we
yeah,
go.
this
Nice.
go through the mini boss. How do you decide on that, Neidorf?
Yeah, exactly. So the mini boss is effectively, it's the same promotion of that, like I said, that dead library of level 1 heroes that we now use as our monster inventory or monster catalog, I guess. And mini bosses, effectively, they have a different HP scaling that's done. It's scaled back significantly less. So what you'll see if you kind of pay attention is the damages that are done by the regular enemies, mini bosses, and bosses is kind of the same, but where they really differ is the HP that they have. So mini bosses have their HP scaled back only a little bit, and a regular enemy has it quite a bit scaled back. And then eventually, when we have a room or a dungeon with a boss, you'll see that those are not scaled back at all. It's effectively like another one of your heroes, or maybe even better than one of your heroes. And so that's kind of, we don't have one of those yet, but yeah, stay tuned. It might not be too long.
Do you want me to? I mean, I shared a video of the first boss that we're building. Do you want me to bring it
Yeah,
up
you
on
might as
screen?
well. I mean, if you want to pop it on at some point.
Should
Alright.
I search? Because you were telling me to search last time, or since I just found a
You should
trap?
definitely say.
What's that?
And once you play this dungeon a few times, Sticks, you'll know the rooms don't change, and so then you'll know where you need to search as well.
So I only search in this area, or is it?
So there are more than one trap in this dungeon in total, and those rooms will always have. You'll always need to search in that room, otherwise it will trigger a trap that will throw you into a random room.
Okay.
Ooh, so we got another mini boss here. The middle guy with 108 HP is pretty high. Very nice. And you can kind of see the text on the bottom there says that you've hazard 1, basically says that you have disarmed 1. It's kind of just a keeping track of what you have accomplished.
Get him, Sticks.
That was
Get
huge.
'em.
That was a big hit.
Yeah, that was huge.
Which hero was that?
Oh my gosh, 3 for 3. That was the Sage. His 81 calculated dominates.
Yeah, and it happened to that was it. And so, but now that you know he's only got 27 HP left, try to find a damage that you're going to do that's less in case you draw, because then you're going to split some of your own damage back at you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. That's smart. I like that. So 27, I should go with this guy. Go with the Brute.
Yeah, Brute's a good choice.
If you win, see, look at that. You minimize your risk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. I didn't think about that. That's good info.
So that's where we try to make this game like
Did he rest?
next level.
Yeah,
I think I'd still keep going. Maybe another.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, you seem like you got a fair amount of HP. You got over 350 HP left.
All right, so I'm gonna jump over to my screen here and share the boss that I have. All right, so this is we talked about this a little earlier on stream, but this is now the visuals of the pixel art zoomed way in on the boss for the Halloween dungeon that will be coming out soon. So this is our vampire boss. So with AI, I was able to make this pixel art.
Where's it at?
I shared it on YouTube, so you'll catch it there.
Oh, well, how
Sorry.
come I can't see it?
The looter
I was
in
looking at it too. I was like, what?
the looter in me is making me have way more turns than I should have because I just want to check every nook and cranny.
Oh.
So, Raph, was it a bit of a learning curve to figure out how to make a sprite sheet?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. So what I did is manually in Photoshop, and I'm guessing this is how people actually make them. But like it's 70 by 72. And so
Pixels,
I basically created, a really wide sheet, and then I drew a grid for myself every 70 pixels or 72. I can't remember which is width and which is height, but I drew a grid for myself, and then I would place the artwork into each one of those grid locations. And like you said earlier, like a good thing that AI art is here. I use Photoshop a lot, and I use Stable Diffusion a lot. So I generated the initial image of the vampire, and then what I did is I brought it into Photoshop, and I used what's called like the puppet warp tool. And so you can actually start to move areas of the image. And so I could move his hand a little bit, I could move his cape a little bit, and then it looked really lumpy. And so then I had to put that back into Stable Diffusion, smooth it out. And so I did that for all the frames that you essentially see on the hero or on the enemy as it evolves or advances through the pixel art. And then I drew in the orb, the glowing orb of the damage that he'll do to you as well. I just kind of drew that in with Photoshop on the side. So it's been a big learning curve for me trying to understand Photoshop and how it works. I've never done anything artistic before this point in time. I think my best artistic achievement was making a clay sculpture in like 7th grade art. So this was a first for me getting into AI art. And like you said, Neindorf, it was a real enabler for us even being able to do the game.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool to see. Do you remember how many frames that was? It's a pile of them.
I think it's
like 10 or 15.
25, I think.
Oh wow, that's a lot of frames.
Yeah.
Does it give you a little better appreciation for like what second best dad does?
Oh my gosh. I mean, a professional artist, like with skill and capability. Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Oh
and the
yeah,
stuff
like
he
because I
makes
mean,
looks good too.
yeah, like the pets that we got, in the game here, were courtesy of DeFi Kingdoms. I mean, we're able to
Yeah.
just reuse the sprite sheets off of the pet cards.
Uh-oh. I should 21 health.
And we do also have, like I've mentioned in the past, we would like to take the new hero images or the hero animations and bring them into the game too. It's just something that's kind of down on my list a little further, given that this is, functional.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
so
that's something that we're looking into.
we're planning on doing a Halloween dungeon. We're planning on doing a turkey trot Thanksgiving dungeon. I shared some alpha pre-stream on the final boss there. We're in the really early stages of developing the next final boss for the turkey trot. I'll give a hint. It's going to be a hybrid turkey slash raptor. And so it's going to be like and if you think about turkeys as evolved dinosaurs, it's going to be one that didn't evolve all the way, and it's pretty mean and it's out for blood. And then we're gonna have a holiday themed dungeon as well around the Christmas time frame. And we don't have all the ideas there, but I think Sir Worm said he wants us to do Evil Santa. I can't remember if that's what Sir Worm wanted.
I like it.
Yeah, I got a question. So I've done it twice. I have 3 credits. So then I just add crystal through that contract, and then how do I add more credits?
Yeah, up on the top right, click on that credit button, and then
Yeah,
that will take you to the add credit screen.
Oh, got it. Okay, so
Even-
okay,
I could do that.
it'll be a number of crystals. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
Hey
And I
boys,
should say too, just so that people are aware, we've not written any smart contract code. Basically, when you do this, all you're effectively doing is popping up a front end to transfer credit from your wallet to the guild wallet, or sorry, not the guild wallet, the site's wallet that you see on the page there. So if there's people who don't like to connect to sites with MetaMask, you can just copy that address and send Crystal manually in MetaMask apart from the site. Because some people, we want to support the people who don't trust connecting to sites with wallets. So that's always an option.
Yeah. That's
Hey, boys.
makes sense.
Me and the Beeve got to prep real quick. We're like 20
10-4.
minutes away from our stream, but this was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to get set up and kick everybody's ass.
Awesome.
Delay,
awesome.
I'm coming for you.
for
I see.
real, I gotta get back to the drawing board and stamp out a few heroes. But I am addicted. This is freaking awesome. I love it. I just got my first L and I didn't like it, so I'm like, all right, I gotta switch it up. So
Love that.
after the Mythic Squad stream, I'm gonna be grinding. All right,
Love
boys. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, thank you guys
Thanks for
joining.
hopping on.
Thanks, guys. ADFK all day, baby.
Love you
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
All right.
Hey guys, I have a question before everyone heads out. So I won. I got 83%.
Yeah.
Why did I only get 83%?
Oh,
Yeah,
great
so
question.
we can get into the score. So if you have if you can navigate back to the frequently asked questions page, it kind of talks about the score. And effectively what drives your score is hero deaths are huge. You basically lose 10% for every hero that dies. And then you lose, I believe it is 1% for every turn over par you go.
Okay.
And so
oh,
if you go to the
36 par.
front, yeah, if you go to the front page of Forest Challenge 2 with 3 guys, its par is 42 turns. And so that's what they've set as like the optimal score for par should be 42 turns in total. That includes your rest, that includes battling. And so every turn over that, you lose 1 percentage point. And then like Nindor said, if you die, that's 10 percentage points.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool. Very cool. So where's the leaderboard? Where do I see that?
Yeah, on the
Yes.
Arcade PvE page, scroll over to the Forest Challenge 2, and then
Oh, yeah, there it
there's a,
is.
a leaderboard and personal results as well.
Okay. So
Love you guys.
all of the
Are we still
Oh
streaming?
wow, intern got 44. Not
Yeah, we're
bad.
still streaming, Starbuck. How you doing? The
We got 59.
the Mosh and
I'm
Beef brothers took off to do some pre-work for your guys' stream just a few moments ago. Our plan here is probably close up things in about 15 minutes, and then we'll do our leaderboard raffle, and then I'll jump over onto your stream.
Nice. Well, don't do it yet because I'm still going.
Well, if you want to share your screen, welcome to watch another one. Delay has set the new leaderboard with 42 turns.
Oh, geez. Okay. Well,
I know.
he's gonna beat me. Here I am in a dark rift.
Yeah, that is impressive. I played once before we made the HP level up, and I think I had 42 turns when all the enemies had like 10 health. So that's really impressive.
And then
Wait, so what's
iOS
the
code.
crystal amount for the raffle tickets?
Ask that again.
What's the crystal amount for the raffle tickets? The max is you do 1,000 for max.
The
Is that
max you can do is 1,000 crystal, and the earn rate is, if you get 100% on a dungeon, the earn rate is 0.006, right, Nindor? Or no, 0.0.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, it's well, we could just bring up the page too, because it says I want to say it's if you wager 1,000, it's 80. It ends up being over 83,000 raffle tickets. So you can just divide it out to if you wager one crystal,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
83 tickets per crystal if you get 100%.
There you go.
And so, tip here, we still are enabling raffle ticket earn on Forest Challenge number 1. That's an easier dungeon. If you want to earn raffle tickets, my recommendation would be go do it there. That'll be more beneficial towards your personal optimization. And so that one's easier to get to par, get to 100%. Our plan or our strategy over time will be, eventually we'll let the old dungeons kind of roll off, and you won't be able to wager raffle tickets on those anymore. And the idea behind that is, we're in kind of good faith to the DeFi Kingdoms team, we want to make earning raffle tickets hard and challenging. And so we have actually like an average giveaway rate target that they've set for us, that we need to hit over the long term. And so, we can't just let people effectively buy tickets, by walking into a dungeon, slapping a baddie, and then being done. And so, but for right now, we have not phased out Forest Challenge 1. And so if you want to earn 1,000 crystal worth of raffle tickets, that's the place to go, to go do it.
Yeah, and that's a good point too. Without having really released it to the public, we needed to establish a baseline for what a win rate is going to be. And so, that as we get better at this and as we have more of these dungeons under our belt, we will have, I think we'll be able to dial it in. We'll get that bell curve more that we're looking for in terms of results.
Ooh, found those squirrels.
I'm ready to get them.
So yeah, I think we should say, if anybody, we had hinted much earlier in the stream about an Easter egg, and I definitely had seen some of evidence of perhaps it showing earlier. So if anybody wants to go back and rewatch maybe the first quarter of this stream, there might be something interesting that you guys will see if you're paying attention.
Something that I know Neindorf and I have been passionate, especially me, I've been passionate about, and something I know the Mythic Squad guys are passionate about.
Oh, I'm being told that we got to go check the leaderboards. If you want to pop that up.
Oh, I definitely will. Ooh, I'm a little nervous. What's going to happen here?
What are we going to see here?
Leaderboards.
I'm going to wait for you to click it so that...
Oh, boy.
What is it?
Yikes.
Wow. Styx intern coming in hard. 35.
What did he get? Oh,
Jeez.
35.
That's impressive.
Whoa.
I don't even know.
Is that legal?
That's almost the same score as the
we
dungeon.
Need to check his heroes for PEDs.
I know.
Like, what is going on there? What are you guys feeding them over in Mythic Squad?
Come on,
Mythic
guys.
juice,
Level
of
21s
course.
are not allowed.
Yeah,
You guys haven't heard of the Mythic juice?
the double stone.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Did you stone on every level?
Man,
Not crystal, stone.
wow, sticks in
That is
turn.
crazy.
Ooh. All right,
I'd be
Stick says
curious
yes. His heroes do have PEDs, so.
And that might be too. He might have caught a case where there was not a lot of zagging going, and that's can really make a big difference in your score.
That happens, yeah.
You kind of got to play a few runs before you can can line up some of those good rolls.
And I need to take notes while I'm doing this next time.
Oh yeah, I think to actually beat the dungeon and to get the highest score, I think absolutely you have to take notes. There's no.
So Skillet and I were joking. The first person who could correctly draw out all the maps and the paths and traps and where they go to, if they took a picture of it and DM'd it to us, we were gonna say that they should get a prize. This one's starting to get complicated, and as we get further along with rewards and secrets and traps, it's going to get more and more complicated.
Yeah. And like I really want to also dive into, so like we've talked about like our big events that we're going to do for Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas time frame. We're also going to be able to iterate quickly. Like this is a dungeon refresh. And so we were able to change around the rooms, change around the groups of baddies, put in some new artwork. So we're also having kind of like between major events, we're planning on doing like these mini dungeon refreshes where we have these small challenges, 2-hour streams, that kind of thing. So you can still go have fun. It refreshes it. And that's something that I feel like is our advantage as being a third-party builder is we can develop fast. Like, we don't have to have a codex for every hero with this system in. And so like we can make a new dungeon right away, and then you can take a different group of heroes into that. And then like we said, once we start involving like challenges where it's like challenging intelligence, challenging luck, challenging strength, something like that, you'll want to use a different group of heroes. We've talked about ideas where it's like, oh, this is an elemental dungeon, so lightning element is better, or dark is better. Or this is a city background dungeon, and so those heroes get a boost. So we have like thousands of ideas on like how we can make these dungeons flavorful, and then like iterate on them quickly, because we don't have the code written for like backgrounds for like swamp, mountain, city, things like that. But once you do, I mean, it's really easy to. I say it's easy. I'm not the one actually doing the work. Neindorf and Skillet are. But you could turn on a 5% boost on attack damage if you have the right matching element.
Yeah, and we're going to call those like, it's like an aura too. Like, oh, you're in a cold room. Does your hero have the Arctic gene? You might do 10% more damage.
There you go.
And so that's where,
Or if you're from the desert, maybe you have like 5% less.
Exactly.
Or something like that.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And knowing us, we want to get more of the hero genetic data into this game, so keep an eye out for all that.
I'm just excited that you guys are creating new moves for Active 1, Active 2. I mean, that's unique. Hot take. Just joking. That's not happening.
Well, active is hard because let's put it this way: when you have rock, paper, scissors, we don't really have space in our game for active moves, right? Because that kind of violates rock, paper, scissors. I'll say that much.
But,
so when we were at 3XP a couple months ago, there was a lot of Web3 developers there, and in particular, there was an AI Web3 developer that, like, shame on me, I didn't get their card, but they've got a system in which if you can think of a game, more likely than not, this AI can produce it for you in the Web3 space. And I was thinking, how cool would that be if we could integrate our heroes in like a side-scrolling game, kind of like Final or double dragons or something like that.
That'd be awesome.
In that like 8-bit format, and then you've got different moves for your active 1, active 2, and then each hero class has a different one. So like a ninja, maybe active 1 is like a hit, and active 2 is like a special that teleports it across the screen. Like if you guys remember that old X-Men Sega game where you had Nightcrawler and it
Oh
could
yeah.
transport somewhere else, maybe it does something like that. Or maybe you've got like a paladin that your active 2 is its magic, and you hit it and a bubble goes around him or something, that if the enemy attacks that hero, then it effectively hits itself, or I don't know. But I think there's a lot of space where if AI keeps on advancing the way it does and becomes more and more attainable, we might see a lot more games coming out there. And I mean, I could just imagine how much it could do for the space, especially for DeFi Kingdoms, where I mean, if there was a hero game where it was like straight up old school Donkey Kong, where you've got a donkey,
Oh,
where you've got
jeez.
a Dread Knight at the top of it, throwing barrels at you, and I'm just a little knight trying to get to it, I'd play that game just to try it out. I mean, I don't know if I'd play it all the time, but I'd invest some, coin if I had to see how my heroes could fare. It's just like
Oh,
this
yeah.
game. I'm willing to pay something to see how I can stack up against my friends and see if we can't get to the top of the leaderboard. And it's just fun. Just adds another
And
element.
I think the important part, that kind of what you're saying, is the capabilities of the AI. And I think, Raph, you can probably second this, but honestly, the power of the prompt is really there's like almost a new style of engineering called prompt engineering.
Oh yeah.
And it's
Right.
you're like, I'm used to writing code. I look at a specification as a software engineer, and I gotta formulate and design the code for it. That exact same skill is essentially being used, and you're formulating from specification to prompts now. So in a sense, but I've read a lot of articles, and people are like, oh, this is going to replace coders. Well, no, because someone still has to write all the English out for this to understand, and you basically have to code it in English, like to a T, exactly what you want it to do. I mean, that's writing code. I mean, that's it's just that's the exact same thing. And so when I had that realization, and it's like, but I think what it'll help do, though, is it'll open it up for more people, because not everybody can get behind the syntax and the weird symbols. But if I can just type it in plain English, I think that's the power.
It kind of decentralizes game creation in a way.
It does.
And that's, I
Absolutely.
think, really powerful in our space. So
And I mean, we're just at the beginning of it. We're at the precipice where we're at that point where people are saying AI is going to be evil, just like back in the day with like the internet's going to be evil. There's never going to be mass adoption. But to your point, there's always going to need to be someone who tells the AI what you want it to create or what you're going for. I mean, we use AI in different elements in my field as well. But there's got to be someone there that kind of holds it in check and kind of makes sure that what it's creating is consistent with number one, our branding, number two, with the ideas that we have for it, and then number three, AI is going to put out what AI is going to put out. If you're using AI art, show me some perfect hands on the first run.
Right.
Doesn't ever happen. You got like 54 fingers on this sucker.
Yeah.
So I was just checking the leaderboard. Looks like iOS Code made a run. He came in at 36, almost tied Sticks in turn here.
That's close. Yeah, we have 5 minutes left, and then we are going to close the 2-hour challenge. Well, no, actually, because we started a little late. So, we'll close the challenge probably in...
We started like 4 minutes late.
4 minutes late.
I thought it was going to be an hour and 45-minute challenge, and I think you're past an hour 45 minutes.
I'd say there's about 3 active games, it looks like, if I refresh, going on at the moment I can see. So there's a couple playing. Maybe we'll let these finish out.
So we'll give it another 4 minutes is, I think, fair then.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to get ready for my stream in 4 minutes, and I'll see you guys there.
Yeah, sounds
all right,
good.
Awesome.
See ya. Good night. Thanks for having me on.
Later.
All right. Getting close here.
It is.
I'm gonna bring.
Do you have what you need for does the leaderboard page give you what you need to be able to build the spinner?
I think so.
All right.
So what is the giant stone that we're gonna give away?
Good question.
Let me do a count up here. On total.
Looks like we've got 44 completed games if you hit all at the moment. But you know what? I think either way, there's got to be a greater stone given out.
I totally agree. With this turnout today, this was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
45. Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm getting to. And then I think we give first 10 extra entries. Second,
That's
probably.
what we did last time, yep.
And I would say maybe second we give 5. I don't know.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do 10, 5, and well, let's see what's the. Do we have duplicates or are they unique?
10,
because that's
10
where.
5, and
Oh
3.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
All right, so I'm going to step aside 1 second. I'm going to reload my drink because I'm going to go on with the Mythic Squad guys. I'm guessing you have to take off. I think you're going on vacation tomorrow, right?
I don't.
I'm not sure. Or
really,
you had something going on tomorrow night, I thought. Anyways,
I do,
well, yeah,
yeah,
if you
so
can
I
join,
gotta-
if you can join them too, that'd be awesome. But I'm gonna step aside, reload my drink, and then we'll that'll be time to refresh and do the wheel of names. If you wanna look up on the promo, and then do the calculation based on how many games we have, how many greater stones, greater crystals, regular stones. Yeah, we got a lot of giveaways, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, well, I don't have control of your screen. I'll just keep chatting here while you're out. Excuse me. I'll pull up the announcement that we had shot out. Let's see here. It looks like we didn't quite get to the greater stone, but we're gonna give that away anyway. 25 games. For every 25 games, we're gonna do a greater crystal. So I think it looks like we'll be able to do 2 greater crystals. 50 games, that'll be 1 regular stone there. So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to type this out so I don't have to recalculate it once Raph comes back. 1 greater stone, 2 greater crystals, 1 regular stone, and 4 regular crystals. That'll be a good start. Raph also is pretty generous with his 10 out of 10 Gen 1 summons. I think he's got a couple of those to crack. It looks like maybe even 3. So we'll do those 3 summons. Let's see, get that noted here. 3 Gen 1s. And then we're into some ADFK site time and some extra in-game credits. I think we'll see on those how many unique names on the wheel of names we come up with before we probably get that far. Last time, I'm pretty sure everybody ended up winning something, and we probably will replicate that here tonight. Let's see. I'm going to refresh on my side, at least. Like I said, I don't have control. I'm going to refresh the leaderboard and make sure. I think we had a couple games close out, but it looks to me like they were not dethroning anybody. All right. So yeah, it looks like Sticks Intern's going to take top spot. iOS code number 2 and delays taking number 3. All right. I'm going to send this info to Raph so he can put it in once we get the names dropped into the wheel here. All right. Paste this. I should double check YouTube chat, see if there's any questions or comments. I'd need a flea button. That's pretty funny. Yeah,
Flea button.
I definitely have had to use the flea button in the boar hunts, so I think that one's pretty hilarious.
All right, are we ready to pull the final results now?
Yes, I've got the numbers here. I'm gonna just paste that into our chat.
Okay.
And I kind of summarized 1 greater stone, 2 greater crystals, 1 regular stone, and then 4 regular crystals.
All right.
And we'll see how many names were left at that point, and we'll kind of keep going from there.
All right, I'm going to put in all the names, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the winners then next. So Sticks intern has the top one, so we got him 10 extra times, right?
That's right.
And I think, am I sharing? I'll share my screen, or you could probably see it up on YouTube. Just
Yeah, I can watch it on YouTube. Yeah, we're
a
good.
few seconds late. Okay. So we're going to add Sticks intern here 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then we have iOS code is number 2, right? So
That's right.
5.
Yep.
5, and then delay is number 3 for 3. Man, that early score, I thought that was...
Yeah, I couldn't believe to jump in there. It was so high, so much higher than all the other scores.
Yeah.
And then the pack kind of slowly caught up. It's really interesting to see. I feel like that was sort of what played out last week too.
Right.
But yeah, I'm impressed that people were able to match par and beat par. I kind of was thinking that would be very difficult.
I know this community continues to impress. All right, so I'm going to spin the wheel, and we are going to give away greater wit. Is that okay?
Let's do it.
All right, spinning the wheel. Greater wit goes to the man, the myth, the legend, Sticks intern. He got it with the first place. He secured himself a greater wit stone. All right, so
Nice.
Next down the list, we're going to do greater crystal. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Bring up my sheet again. Yep, a greater.
Ready.
We'll do 2 of these actually, so we'll do 2 in a row.
Okay, we got iOS code getting number 2. Hey, so we're going right down the list of 1, 2.
That's right.
That's nice.
It is. Yeah, I think that feels good.
All right, and number 3 is Ghost Panda. Sorry, delay.
Nice.
I jinxed it, right? Good. Congrats, Ghost Panda. That's awesome.
Mythic Squad.
All right, what's next? Oh, and what were those were wits, right?
Yep, 2 greater. Those are 2 greater crystals. So now the 4th one will be a regular stone. Are we gonna stick with wit?
Let's stick with wit
Is it
today.
a wit day?
It's a wit
It's a
day.
wit day,
It was a
alright.
fortune day last time. It's a wit day today.
Yep. So yeah, we'll do 4.
Right, so this is a regular
1
stone?
regular stone.
One regular stone, and we got delay right there.
There it is. That's a nice win.
All right, and
And we got 4 more regular crystals now.
okay,
So pop 'em
four
off.
regular crystals. I think we're gonna run out of names here in a little bit.
And that's kind of what I'm hoping.
Yeah, exactly. Reward those playing. All right, Worm 369.
Regular crystals solid.
All right, another regular crystal. Starbuck.
All right. We gotta get more of the ADFK crew in here. We're gonna be giving away all these good items to the
Mythic Squad, I
competition.
know. Sticks. It's the next one.
All right, that's a good win.
And the last regular wit crystal goes to Justice Beaver. All right. Excellent. All right, what's next on the list for giveaway?
So after that, then I think we were gonna get into. Did you have any 10 out of 10s, or otherwise we were gonna go into site time?
What do you think? Well, like, what did we list on the sheet? Did we list?
We did Gen 1s, and then we
Gen
did
1s?
site time, and then credit packs.
Okay, so let's just go down the order of how we listed it. I think that's the most
Yeah,
fair.
I think next was summons, I believe.
Okay. Oop, I am not connected. So, hold please. I need to make sure I'm not streaming while I put in my password.
Probably a good idea.
Okay. Yeah, don't want to show off my seed phrase here. It'd be a sad day.
I highly recommend not showing that.
Yeah. Oh, make sure my YouTube friends out there, make sure I'm not doing that. Welcome. We're in.
Yeah, and I should say too, I'll get all these items transferred out in the morning. I'm running low on gas for the night, so I will take care of that. If I have any questions, I might have to ping some people, but I'm pretty sure I have all the addresses because people had to have addresses registered to play. So the primary wallet you have registered is the one that I will select when sending items to you, just so that you're just as an FYI. And you can see which one's primary when you go to your account on the top right of the page. It should say primary next to it.
All right, so the first summon goes to Sergeant Filthy McNasty, and he gets a Warrior Pirate 10 out of 10, and no abilities. So we got ourselves a Warrior, DR1 Warrior at least. So that's
that's cool.
You know, has some value there, and green strength. So there you go, Sergeant. Have fun with Baldred Vicatra. All right, so the next one goes to, let me pop the crystal, and then while that's opening up, we'll spin the wheel. Okay. Ooh, right on the edge. All right, Rubetto. Well done. You were part of, I believe you played some games in the first one as well, so thank you for coming back, Rubetto.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Second hero. And we got ourselves a rare Thief Monk.
Oh, nice.
No advanced abilities, but we got a DR1-2 Thief. So thief on DR1-2. So high chances of summon that with a monk, and you'll get a Dark Knight hopefully. All right, and we got another name out there at least. So we'll open up the last crystal here, and we got the Bob Father.
All right.
Okay. Crystal. I think is that Bob Nothing? I don't know. I think so. I hope
no.
So
no. That's another one of my coworkers potentially. I will say.
Okay. All right.
Somebody else I roped into playing this game. This
That's awesome.
DeFi Kingdoms game.
Okay, Bob Father wins an Archer Seer, and we got an advanced ability here, Leadership.
All right.
And we got a Archer. I didn't get DR1 here, but some luck and a fishing. So there you go. You get an Archer with Leadership. That's good. All right. So next we go to, is it Sight Time?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the next thing down the line.
And how many of those? Two?
Two of those.
All right. So it's Kells and Butt Manu. So because we only have two names left, so we have Kells and Butt Manu. So yeah, Kells, you're the last one. I'll spin the wheel just because I want to see what it looks like with one person. Thanks for joining, Kells, representing ADFK, representing ADFK in the caboose here. Well done. You get some Sight Time. All right, so big thank you to everyone who played. The community, that's why we do this. You guys are keeping us going. An extra big thank you to our our sponsors in DeFi Kingdoms. You created the game, and you gave us some rewards to give out for the game that we're developing. And then a big thank you to our guests tonight. So Starbuck, Mosh, Beeve, and Sergeant and Sticks. So thanks for jumping on. We really appreciate it. For Raph and Neindorf, thank you everyone for playing the game, and we're looking forward to continuing to bring this back, kind of hopefully frequently. We have, looking at the calendar, Halloween is coming up, right, Neindorf?
Yeah, we gotta get on that, don't we?
So, I mean, we're gonna have a Halloween dungeon that comes out like next week.
It's probably gonna have to. Yep, absolutely.
So soon, real soon. So we'll have to set up a streaming time to do the new Halloween dungeon. Really excited about that. There will be new features involved as well. Not just new rooms, not just new art, not new baddies. There will be some more features as well. So thank you everyone for tuning in. And this has been another great episode.
Good night, everybody.